and welcome to this special edition from Nile TV International, celebrating the second day of Eid al-Adha, or the Feast of Sacrifice, here in Egypt and for the entire Islamic nation. And I am honored to be having today with me over the program for tonight is Dr. Mohamed Khafif, the Islamic thinker and the researcher in the Islamic and the social affairs. Thank you very much for being with us tonight.
Thank you for having me.
And happy Eid.
Thank you. Same to you.
Anytime. First of all, Doctor, would like to know more about the importance and the significance of Eid al-Adha.
Eid al-Adha is the most important feast in the Islamic belief.
Yes.
And it is performed on several levels. Those who are privileged and who are granted this blessing from God Almighty, they are given the opportunity to perform al-Hajj in the Holy Land. This is the highest honor and highest privilege for any Muslim. As for those who did not have this chance, they celebrate this feast in a theme of charity. And it is also a reminiscence of the incident that happened between Prophet Abraham and Prophet Ishmael, when Prophet Abraham was almost instructed to slaughter his son.
Yes.
And when Prophet Abraham proved that he is loyal and honest enough and devoted enough to perform this order, he was relieved by being granted a sheep instead of his son. When we sacrifice the sheep nowadays, in our days,
yes,
we do it in under two pretexts. First, remembering the incident of Prophet Ibrahim and Prophet Ishmael, and in the meanwhile, the charity we grant to the poor who do not have the wherewithal to get such a festive meal, as we call it. And another aspect of this celebration is that you don't only grant this sheep to the poor.
yes,
You grant part of this sheep to your friends and neighbors, and part of it also for yourself. So the celebration is all over for everybody and all over the place, so that everybody would celebrate and enjoy the social gathering and the happy days and happy moments of this feast.
Yes, Doctor, what is the difference between the feast of sacrifice, the Greater Bayram, Eid al-Adha, and the other feasts in Islam, like the one we have after Ramadan, the Lesser Bayram, or Eid al-Fitr?
There is quite a difference, because in the Eid al-Fitr, the feast that follows the month of Ramadan,
yes,
we celebrate this feast celebrating the completion of the fasting of Ramadan. The fasting of Ramadan is not an easy job to do.
yes.
So those who have the will and willpower and tenaciousness to perform this fasting properly and correctly are entitled to celebrate the completion of that fasting, and expecting, of course, the reward for it. So it is a feast of festivities rather than charity. Of course, you can give charity in Eid al-Fitr,
Yes.
but the main theme there is of celebration.
Yes, Doctor, you mentioned that there are two segments in the Islamic nations nowadays, or the Islamic societies. Some celebrating Eid al-Adha in Mecca during the pilgrimage, and for the rest of the Islamic nations, they are celebrating Eid al-Adha in the respective countries.
Exactly.
What are the different rituals for the pilgrims in Mecca and for the non-pilgrims or the ordinary Islamic citizens living outside of Saudi Arabia?
Well, the rites or rituals of pilgrimage are very unique,
yes,
and they cannot be performed anywhere except in Mecca. So what the pilgrims do in Mecca cannot be applied anywhere else. Let's say the tawaf, circling the Kaaba, the sa'i, the travel between Safa and Marwa, and so on, and of course, over and above is the gathering at Arafah. All this are very unique to the pilgrimage, and let's remember that almost all the rites of worship in Islam are linked either with time or with place, except for pilgrimage. All its rites are performed in a specific place at a specific time.
Yes.
And this gives it a very special stance among other rites of worship. And of course, it gives the Muslims special reward for obeying and performing those rites.
Yes, how do you see the importance of pilgrimage in itself as one of the cornerstones of Islam, being a Muslim?
Pilgrimage is let's say the ultimate rite of worship, okay? And due to it's being not very easy to perform by all Muslims, it is not obligatory unless a Muslim has the ability financially and health-wise and emotionally to perform that rite.
Yes.
Let's remember that in the stance of Arafah, for example, all the pilgrims gather there. They are all wearing the same attire, which is the simplest attire possible. The rich, the poor, the wealthy, the powerful, the weak, everybody is like everybody else.
Yes.
It is, let us say, it is a rehearsal of the Day of Judgment. Because on the Day of Judgment, we are all equal, and there is no privilege to anybody over anybody else except with the good deeds he has done.
Yes.
Or she has done, of course. After the stance of Arafah, there's the tawaf around the Kaaba, and it is symbolic because all the universe performs this kind of tawaf. Starting with the atom, the electrons rotate around the nucleus in the same direction of the rotation around the Kaaba. Planets rotate around the sun in the same way, and everything else between. So it is a kind of unity between man and nature and God.
A universal movement.
A universal movement,
Yes.
exactly. When somebody says that this thing rotates counterclockwise, actually the whole universe rotates counterclockwise. The watch is the one that's wrong, actually.
Yes.
So the tracking between Safa and Marwa, two small hills near the Kaaba, reminds us of the difficult journey that our mother Hagar had to go through in search for water for her son, the little son Ishmael, who was crying his heart out for water, and finally the water emerged under his own feet. It is a very important and a very clear reminder that people, you are expected to strive and to try, but the bounty is given by God in ways that you can never imagine.
Yes, Doctor, allow me to be going to the first break of this special episode celebrating Eid al-Adha, of course, on the second day of it here in Egypt and for the entire Islamic nation. We will be having a quick break. Stay tuned.